months we've been able to communicate on Facebook. He has noticed that we have a Facebook account, our Chattooga County Republican Party. So I invite any and all of you that are members of Facebook. We do have a website that's up and going and has been for some time now that is growing. And we have more likes and more members and more things that are being posted on there. And Mickey has been wonderful to be posting things on there that's going on in the federal government and the state government and probably even here locally. So we appreciate all that he's been posting. It's open for any and all of you to share, to post, to make comments, and then I try to post pictures and things of our meetings, and we'll continue to do that and try to send it our way down to the newspaper and radio as well. So he is from Floyd County, and he had shared with me that he has an interest again of running for an office as a Republican. And when I'd asked him some time back what the office would be, he didn't know then, but maybe he is still praying about that and thinking about that. So we just wanted to invite him here tonight to meet him, get to know him, get his name out there, and let him tell us all about himself and even more. So, Mickey Tucker, we appreciate you being here.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Brad. Yes, the past few months I've really got to, I started getting out and about a little more, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people via Facebook, like Brad. We've been conversing for a couple of months. Charles, I've conversed with him for several months before I got to know him. And Spencer, got to know him over these past few weeks. And social media is a wonderful thing. First, let me introduce myself. I've already been introduced. My name is Mickey Tuck, and I'm running for, and considering running for, I'm not going to officially announce yet, but it will come in the coming months. But I'm seeking the 14th Congressional seat of Georgia, which is currently held by Tom Graves. And I'll tell you the reason I'm running. I'm running because, as y'all been watching and looking up in Washington, D.C. here lately, the 14th District is not being represented like it should. Do y'all realize that the 14th District is the second most Republican district in the state of Georgia? We're only behind the 9th District, our neighbor. We are the 12th most Republican district in the whole United States. And I don't know if y'all watched the news, y'all watched the posts I've placed in social media, you've watched, whether y'all follow Heritage or Freedom Works or the Liberty Index or the Club for Growth, which are very well-known conservative groups. Our representation in D.C. has not been doing the job. They have not been representing us the way they should represent us. Let me ask y'all this question, and some of y'all might have heard this last Saturday. How many in this year or this past year have called or contacted Tom Graves' office? When y'all called, how many of y'all called and said, Tom, I want you to vote for John Boehner as Speaker of the House? How many of y'all call and tell Tom Graves, I want you to vote for the Ryan Murray budget that would reduce retirement benefits for our veterans and also raise the price for airline tickets? They call us to not a tax increase, but it's a fee increase. But any money collected by the government, the revenue collected, to me is tax. How many of y'all called and asked Tom Graves, I want you to vote for the omnibus budget, which raised spending last year? How many of y'all called and asked Tom Graves to vote for the Omnibus, which funded Obamacare and the amnesty that Obama wants to do? I think I know the 14th District pretty well. And the 14th District is a very conservative district. And I don't believe there's anybody in this room that called Tom Graves and asked him for bigger government, more spending, more taxation, or moderate establishment leadership to control the House. This is going gonna be my key word for this election. Dismantle and rebuild. I can't do it by myself. I need your help. And I'm not gonna be able to do it by myself in Washington, D.C. unless there's other conservative districts across our nation decide to elect real conservative candidates to serve in office. But our party has gotten away from its conservative values. You know, the Republican values are limited government, reduce taxes, reduce spending, and uphold the U.S. Constitution. Our establishment leaders in Washington, D.C. have not been doing that. And then when our conservative leaders from our conservative districts go to Washington, D.C. and elect moderate establishment leadership to defy what we want as conservatives, to defy what we want as a party. A lot of people give me a hard time here lately saying, I'm a Republican because I'm calling out what's going on in the Republican Party, which is wrong. I believe in party unity. We need party unity. But you know, everybody's saying it's the conservatives that are dividing the party. I disagree. It's the moderates that are dividing our party. My question is, you'll probably hear Tom Grady might come around, I've heard him mention this, that the progressives took a long time to get where they're at, to control our government, to control our schools. But my answer to that is, we don't have time to take our time. We need to take action now. We need to send people to Washington, D.C. that will take action now. We don't need to wait till later. We don't need to wait till 2 years from now when hopefully we'll get a Republican president. But that's no guarantee. Why should we wait when there's no guarantee? We need to take action now. Once again, you'll hear these key words from me, dismantle. We need to send people to Washington, D.C. that will dismantle Washington, D.C., dismantle it down to the foundation of the Founding Fathers and the U.S. Constitution, and rebuild. We've gone too far to remodel. It's time to tear it down and rebuild it. And if y'all support me and help me with that, that's my purpose for going there. That's my personal want to go there. My purpose is to be, if y'all help me, and y'all help me get elected. When y'all call up to my office in Washington, D.C., and y'all say, Mickey, we want you to reduce spending, I'm going to say no problem. We want you to vote to protect our privacy. We want you to protect our email. We want you to protect our communications. We want you to protect our daily lives. That's what the Constitution says that our government's supposed to do, unless they have a warrant. I'll say, there's no problem. Y'all say Mickey, we want less taxation. Hey, no problem. And the reason I'm running, I'm no politician. I'll be the first to say that. I'm not smooth. I'm not a smooth speaker. But in my heart, I know what we need for this district. I know what we need for this country. And I hope that you agree with me with what I've said tonight. It's not to pick on Tom Graves. I've met Tom Graves. Nice man. But it's time for us to send people to make changes up there, to dismantle, to rebuild. I have a quote here. I'm not good at looking at notes, so you'll have to go with me. I'll speak from my heart. Patrick Henry said, the Constitution is an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It is an instrument for the people to restrain the government, lest it come to dominate our lives and interests. If y'all haven't noticed, the government controls our lives and interests. We don't control our lives and interests no more. That's because we have failed as a nation, and forgive me, as a party, to send the people up there that will respect the Constitution. I know during their campaigns they'll say, I'm for the Constitution, I'm for liberty. what we got away from, if somebody just comes up here and says, God and guns, y'all say y'all want to vote for him. But there's more to the Constitution than God and guns. And I do support God and guns. But we got to support not only the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, we got to support the Fourth, the Fifth, the Sixth, for example, and the 10th, for the states to get to retain their rights. Whether it's educating our children, controlling our highways, our transportation. All that money we send up there is wasted. We should close down Department of Transportation up there, the Department of Education. All that money comes back to the states. I got so much going in my head right now, it's just spinning. I'm going to give you a quote like Herman Cain says. We keep sending people that we're sending up there over and over again. His great quote is, how's that working for you? I don't think it's working very well. That's why we need new people, new leadership. Each year Tom Graves has been in Congress, if y'all pay attention to the conservative ratings, his conservative ratings by Heritage, Club for Growth, the Liberty Index, and the Freedom Wars has fallen each and every year. He has some ratings now in the 70s. Is that a behavior that y'all are willing to take a chance on for 2 more years, starting in 2016? There's more important things in the 14th district than what chairmanships I can get on. Chairmanships are great. They're powerful positions. But to defy the will of the people of the 14th district, to grant the will of John Boehner and the Washington establishment for power and glory, is wrong. It's un-Republican. It's unpatriotic. So I'm here tonight to ask y'all. I know it's a long ways off, we're just in 2015, but y'all realize a year from this month is qualifying time for those that want to seek office for Congress. So we just got a year. I had a friend of mine told me the other day, said, Mickey, we can win in 2 ways. Number one, ultimately, we want to win. Number 2, by having a candidate out there that doesn't mind speaking his mind, you don't mind calling the kettle black, we can pressure Tom Graves into voting how we want him to vote. So we can win it 1 or 2 ways. And I'm hoping for the first way, to be elected. Does anybody got any questions? Yes, Charles.
I noticed you had on Facebook about lawyers being elected 53% of the elected officials are lawyers, something like that. 5 million laws on the books, you don't even know what they are. I thought that was pretty telling as to what you said about dismantling some laws up there at times. We don't know what's going on in this many laws.
That Washington's made it so complicated for people to understand. And I'd like to do what I could possibly do to try to simplify things for people. For one thing, like, I don't know how many of y'all keep up with Justin Amish. I'm a fan. On his Facebook page, he puts down every vote he makes. He explains every vote he makes. He explains it into straight layman's terms where you can understand what he voted for and why he voted for it, whether you liked it or not. Like I say, most things I don't always agree 100% with everybody, but I agree with most of what he votes for and what he does. And that's one way we can be more transparent and more, we'll even find them, I forget what the instance was, but there's here a few in the last Congress where they passed, I don't remember what it's called, they passed a spending bill but it was hidden inside another bill that didn't have anything to do with spending. And therefore, it got passed, and unless I said something about it, nobody would ever know anything about it. To answer your question?
Yes, sir. Mr. Tucker, would you vote for John Boehner for Speaker of the House?
No,
Thank
I
you.
would not. If there was nobody else running, I would vote a no vote. I would vote, or just vote present. I would not give him my vote. And I'll tell you the reason why. He's moderate. He's controlled by the crony capitalists. He's controlled by corporate America. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing wrong with the free markets, if that's the way they are. The government should not pick winners and losers. It's not free market when the government picks winners and losers, and when you got corporations putting cash in politicians' pockets to pick them as winners, that's not free markets. And another reason I would not vote for him, if y'all know the last two votes that were taken in Congress, one for approving DHS funding for Obama's amnesty, he had get Nancy Pelosi to help him get those passed. He had to go to the Democrats to help him get that passed. Without the Democrats and the 75 Republicans that voted for it, it would not have passed. So when you got a leader of the House that's having to hobnob and make good with the Democrats to get legislations passed, when you got a majority of your conservative Republicans saying no, that's not Republican leadership. And just like today, they voted for funding for Amtrak, more crony capitalism, picking winners and losers, not letting the free market work. Yeah, I believe it was 101 Republicans, and Tom Groves was one of them. I'll give him credit for it. He voted no for the Amtrak funding. But John Boehner, I believe it was like 75 people, 75 again, y'all check it and make sure I'm right. But he had to go to Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to get them to help him to pass his legislation. Now, when you got to go to the Democrats and ask them to help you pass your legislation, is that conservative government? Is that conservative Republican ideals? I mean, our moderates that control Washington have got out of control. And we need to do something about it. And we got to send people up there that will do something about it, that won't cave in, that won't let the arm be twisted. I got a skinny arm, but it's hard to twist. And I got a little back, but I got a pretty good backbone that won't bend.
Mr. Stuck, what do you feel about small businessmen? Young people want to start up small businesses, and but there's so many regulations that they just overwhelm in getting a new business started, where the corporations get tax breaks and corporate welfare, and it's just not fair for the young people who want to start up businesses.
Well, that's where we need to go. We need to deregulate. You know, we need to pass some legislation in the House and in Congress that puts a stop to this, where the government gets to pick winners and losers. And the winners always seem to be the big corporations. They're the only ones that can afford to pay for all the regulations and the permits and the EPA rulings and the labor laws and all those things that are involved in starting a business. It makes it just near impossible for somebody to start a small business. And that's one reason where I like to go for, I like to see either one. Whichever one we get off the table, we go to a fair tax or a flat tax, and that'll be across individuals, across corporations, across businesses, put everybody on a fair playing field. Cut out the loopholes, because the corporations are the ones that benefit from the loopholes, not the small business people. Small business was the foundation of America, and I'll say was, it's not anymore. It needs to be. Small business is what built this nation. Small family business is what built it. and there need to be changes in that. And y'all, you have no problem with me favoring those type of changes. Yes, sir.
Well, you answered one of my questions about supporting a consumption tax similar to the fair tax. The other two questions are, who did you support or who do you support for governor? And do you support tax incentives to bring in outside industries like the tax incentives in place now in the state for the entertainment industry, bringing film jobs here to
Okay, I'm not gonna be the typical politician. I will tell you who I voted for. I will not dance around the question, as most do. I voted for David Pennington in the primaries. And then in the general, I voted for Nathan Dill. And bringing that up, Nathan, I've never met Nathan Dill, but do y'all not get tired of having to vote for the lesser of two evils?
Absolutely.
Every election cycle, it don't seem like it's for one office, especially when it comes to state and national. Local's different. We have to end up voting for the lesser of two evils. But a lot of people vote for the lesser of two evils because they say, well, I'd rather dance with the devil I know than the one that I don't. It's something to do with safety and security, I don't know why. And what was your other question again?
how do you support bringing tax incentives to industries like the entertainment industry, bringing jobs here to Georgia?
Well, there's two different ways we can look at that. If that tax has never been levied, how can it be a loss in tax revenue? Does that make sense to you? And once again, we shouldn't pick winners and losers. If it's involving, I say you give a tax incentive to this film industry or film company that you don't give to this other one equally, then you're picking winners and losers, and that's wrong. But once again, let me say again that if it's a tax that you have never collected, then it's not a tax that you're losing. That's the way I look at it when it comes to bringing business. And I'd be for, on the national level, anything we can do to bring manufacturing and jobs, especially manufacturing, back to the United States. I've been around a long time. I lived through NAFTA. I'm for free trade if it's smart trade. I'm sure y'all probably heard Donald Trump speak and say, free trade is good, but we did not make smart trade. We did not make a good deal. I worked at Lindell Manufacturing for 11 years as a maintenance personnel. It closed down because we couldn't compete with overseas anymore. The trade deals were unfair. Where I work at now, I work for Lindell Yarns. I've worked there over 16 years and I'm a night shift electrician. So that's why when y'all start asking my time, sometimes I might have to tell you no because I got to work for a living. And, they passed Tom Gray's law, Phil Gingrey, and a lot of other congressmen from Georgia voted for the KORS Act, which is Korean free trade. And Phil Gingrey was our representative back then, and we signed a letter. Our company owners and management and employees, we signed a letter and sent to Phil Gingrey, letting them know that when you pass this, you're endangering our livelihood, you're endangering our jobs. And since KORS was passed, I think it's been 2 years ago, it's already cost, even though it's just a little small treaty with one little small nation, it's already cost the United States 60,000 jobs. When manufacturing was king, the United States was king. Why is China king now? Manufacturing. When we had manufacturing, we had good jobs, good pay, good benefits. And since manufacturing is lost, has gone, it's disappeared. And people have been eliminated to go into work at Walmart, McDonald's, Wendy's, with no benefits, where we used to have those benefits. And also, I'm completely sold out on Americans having jobs, good paying jobs. And NAFTA was the first domino for the collapse of the American economy, in my opinion. It might not be anybody else's. I lived it, I know it, I've been there. I've seen a lot of my friends go through it that I've worked with over the years. But we have to make every effort to bring manufacturing and those jobs back to the United States.
Nick, we sure appreciate you coming tonight. Being with us
Thank
this
you.
weekend.
I hope I didn't take too long, I'm sorry.
Well, we've got a few things to do.
Anybody else has any,
Coming.
if anybody else has any questions, I'll take your notes. Y'all can see me after the meeting, I'll be more than glad to answer them for you. Thank you a lot for having me.